Good morning. Morning, everybody. Morning, Aaron. Morning, Martin. Morning, Dill. Let me know if I'm coming through okay. I try to work on my mic settings. Let me know if it sounds a little bit better. So it should be picking up if I kind of come away a bit better. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Morning, Aaron, mate. Morning. Okay, let's get into the market. How's everybody doing? Sounds good. Thank you. Sounding good, appreciate it, thank you very much. And how's the, by the way, how's the quality? Morning, Amira. How's the quality when I'm streaming? Is it 1080p or 720? Is it quite clear? I just don't know what it's like. I know when I record it's 1080. It's a little bit louder. Is it too loud? Or is it a little bit better there? Yeah, I just want to, because I haven't really fixed some settings. I did a little bit of research yesterday on how to possibly make it a little bit better. Morning, Ash. Morning, John. Morning, all. Clear? Thank you. Good. Good, okay. All right, so SPX today, okay. I can turn it down a little bit more. Is that better? Let me know if that's testing, if that's okay. Morning, Silver. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Let me know if it's too loud or too not. Yeah, good. Okay. All right, let's get into the stock market, shall we? So we had this drop that we were kind of expecting, maybe not to the extent that we got it. Pound Aussie short, please. Okay, let me do the stock market first, John, and I'll look at the Pound Aussie. But to be honest, I think I kind of like it. Just thinking of the idea, but let's see. So we did get that reaction we kind of thought. Now, from a daily perspective, looks a little bit worrisome, right? We got a decent Marubozu bar here. If you don't know what a Marubozu is, it's basically candles that close basically at the low or kind of at the high, signaling a strong bearish move on this particular instant, also coming on high volume. So that doesn't mean trend continuation is out the card just yet. As I said, our 61.8 is probably, well, let's get it up actually. Our 61.8 is still a little bit to go. We're banging on that 50. Again, I use Fibonacci. Yes, okay, I like the levels, but more as a kind of guide of where trends should possibly end and continue, certainly stronger trends. But I do have a little bit of worry about this particular bar yesterday. So for me, it's still risk off, but pullback mode as well. And seeing the charts today, even with that yen weakness, I'm just not buying it. You know, I'm not buying it. Certainly not if we continue on down in this trajectory. So unless there's possibly get some bullish pressure at some point, which we're not seeing, we may see today over London and US. Until that happens, we've got to still think this is going to head to the downside. There's nothing there indicating to me that this should pull up. Right, we are underneath that 200. Yes, okay, we might get into this pullback action if we continue within this. Impulse corrective, impulse corrective, impulse corrective. If you notice these impulses, they're all pretty similar, right? As well as the correctives. Now, that's not going to continue on forever. But if we use that as a guide of what we're doing, you know, back to roughly around these 20s and pushing on, maybe we get that again. You know, until we get a proper change in direction, which would be a break above the anchor and certainly a healthy break above the anchor, we've got to be thinking a little bit of downward action. However, from a larger general term perspective, right, if we look at this as impulse, loss of momentum, harder reset, right, this, if it does push, would look pretty nice, you know, from a 4-hour perspective, not from a daily perspective, but from a 4-hour perspective. So if we do get some bullish pressure, it would look very nice for the stock market. I would like to see that yen come into some strength. You know, I want to see those real pullbacks, because if we get those real pullbacks, okay, let's say, for example, maybe we have another leg down, which may look a little, it wouldn't look as nice if it did push up right now, but if we do get some yen strength, possibly in the next coming days, those charts, those commodities against the risk-offs would look a lot better for trend continuation, if that makes sense. So yeah, that would be my bias, probably pullback in terms of 4-hour continuation of that downtrend in the SPX, but it's still not full-blown risk off just yet, certainly not with that weakness in the yen anyway. And dollar strong. Dollar is strong. We're looking for a break above these highs. It looks as if we'll certainly tag the highs. You know, we've disregarded that daily inverted hammer and pushed on from this particular bar here. So for me, yeah, buying dollar still makes sense. I'm not going to massively analyze that because, you know, there's no real need to. As I said, we have come from a decent price action here in terms of corrective channel, flag or whatever you want to call it. And, you know, I wouldn't say we're extended yet. We're just within this movement. And, yeah, dollar strong, dollar, any setups buying the dollar still makes sense. Still makes sense to me. If you look at the 1 hour, actually. So approaching these highs, roughly getting there. Maybe, I mean, maybe in terms of a setup, you look at something like this. But, I mean, dollar long bias. Absolutely long bias. Which I think is good for a pound US trade. Oh, it's come off a little bit. That's pretty good. So pound USD, I'm still in this. I'm looking for a break and close underneath these lows. Don't really want to squeeze it just yet. It does look very bearish right now. You know, possibly again, we're in this corrective and coming out of it, hopefully continuing with that downward trend. So if we do get a good close and weakness in that pound, strength in that dollar on London and US today, we could get a move. You know, is it ready to move? Yes, absolutely. And a break above, sorry, not a break above, a break below, you know, this area, these lows would certainly be very good. And we possibly could see that pound dollar have a good movement to the downside if indeed we get that. We haven't got it yet, but if indeed we do. So, yeah, looks pretty good. Looking for movement to the downside and being patient with it. Being patient. Okay, let's have a look at pound Aussie before I move on to my watch list. Pound Aussie down. Pound Aussie down. From there, yeah, it makes sense you get a reaction. Oh. It makes sense you would get a reaction. 175.14, 175. So you've just sold it. 175.14 resistance. Are you saying up or down? Short, yeah. All right, are you placing this on much smaller time frames? So like a 1 minute or something. God, hold on. So daily perspective, yeah. 15 minute. From here around that 20. Obviously trend is to the downside. Do I like the chart? Not particularly. I personally would not be trading it, but you probably know that, John. So pound Aussie down from this area. Yeah, I don't really like price action moving into it. You know, I don't particularly like this for longs. Although, yeah, you've got possibly a smaller V reversal here. 15 minute. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty short right now. Looks pretty short from a 4 hour fib. Where have you taken your fib from? If you're looking short, you're kind of back at 100% there, no? Or are you taking it from here? Not quite clean for me, John, if I'm being honest with you. But, yeah, okay. If it fits your plan, fits your strategy, then yeah, it certainly looks bearish right now. So pound Aussie to the downside, yeah. Yeah, why not? As I said, if it fits your plan, back to that 20, you could get a reaction from it. I don't particularly like the chart. I wouldn't be buying it. I wouldn't be selling it either. But you got to go with your plan, right? So, yeah. Okay, watch this today. US 30, Dow Jones. Looking for a potential breakout retest here. I didn't spot this yesterday. 4 hour may be an issue, but let's see as it progresses. Cut with handle, pretty clean. Break through the area, retest for movement to the downside. As I said, if this is in the way, then we don't take the trade. Stock market is obviously looking pretty weak. And potential Dow shorts would make sense to me. Would make sense. We could be looking at this as, you know, is this our lower high in terms of Dow theory from a general perspective? Yes, could be. Recent price action could still be in this corrective for a movement to the upside. But as I said, if we get the setup in that 200 is in the way, we just don't take it. So US 30 potential breakout retest. Euro pound. Euro pound is one I quite like. Daily chart is relatively messy, but recent price action dictates a bigger V reversal here. Looking back to that 20, looking at a breakout retest to the downside on this 30-minute or 1 hour chart. 4 hour looks okay. 4 hour looks okay from this latest impulse. As I said, Euro pound shorts do make sense to me. And we've got our cut with handle. I know we've got a big gap here, but that's okay. Cut with handle, looking for this to break through, retest, and move to the downside. So 200 is there. Again, 20 will be there. Similar things as we've looked at the past few days, where that 220 is an area of dynamic resistance to our price. But let's see if it breaks through. If it does break through, it'll be underneath that 20 on the 4 hour as well, which is good. And yeah, like the idea with going with that general larger term downtrend. You know, so again, you just zoom out a little bit. We are going with that general, general downtrend. And look how many times, this is what the euro, I'm telling you, the euro likes it. Look how many times you had some impulse moves, right? That's just always been sold into, right? Every single time this has been sold into. I think I got in a trade here. I think it was a great trade on euro pound back here. But again, it's just been sold into all the time. So looking at euro pound shorts absolutely makes sense to me. So if we get that breakout, that retest, I'll certainly look at taking that to the downside. Pound Swiss. Pound Swiss is still setting up. We do not want this to break now. I was looking at a potential aggressive entry here. Didn't quite get one. But if we do come up here, I could look for one in here in terms of our third structure. So first structure, second structure, possible third structure. What I'm looking for essentially is a 20 period catch up, whether it comes in the form of another reload, whether it comes in the form of accumulation, creating a possible anchor. That's all I'm looking for now on Pound Swiss, and it looks pretty good. Again, going with that risk sentiment, pound is coming off a little bit, and it's a pretty clean setup. It's a pretty clean setup. The daily is now, it's not a daily break. It was almost a daily break, but we got this breakthrough here, so it's kind of invalidated. But from a daily perspective, this is really nice. Ready to move? Absolutely. Absolutely. We put this on a weekly chart. It looks pretty good there, doesn't it? Looks pretty good for potential shorts on Pound Swiss. So I like that idea. Just need, what are we today? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Maybe a trade for end of the week if we continue to get what we want. But I would ideally like this to push on and give me an aggressive entry up here. That would be perfect. Around that 20, ideally inverted hammer or engulfing band candle, something like that for an aggressive entry would be lovely for me. USD Swiss is still setting up. I thought this was going to go 2 days ago, but we faked out, which is good. Again, this is okay. We're getting that pullback that we want from this impulse, looking for a push through, something like this to take a break to the upside. USD Swiss is still looking nice. Oil as well is still looking nice. We've got this tag of the area properly. Again, from this basing structure, we need a little bit more here. So possibly towards the end of the week. I'm not going to go massively into that because I did talk about it yesterday. But looking for the same thing. Give us that digestion. Breakout to the downside. The same thing day in, day out, like a broken bloody record. And finally, USD NOK. USD NOK is back on the list. And another one that I do really like. I just have a feeling sometimes you get price action like this that just sometimes breaks, right? Which is what we don't want to happen. So I'm taking this setup from here. Okay, so we've got our V reversal. Martin, you might like this. Is Martin here? No, he must be sleeping or back at work. V reversal in here. Need that digestion or pullback. Good thing is here was we'll have our 200 underneath price action, right? If we get what we want for a break to the upside. That's essentially what I'm looking for. So I'm not disregarding this. This is still added confluence, right, in terms of a longer-term uptrend or a longer-term long play. But I have to reset up, and it has to reset up from here, which means we've had that impulse. I need some pullback into it. We don't take breaks that are extended and breaking from deep. If we go to the daily chart, if we go from the daily chart, it's looking better now. From the last time we looked at it, You know, we've got this outside bullish engulfer as well. Again, we're above these moving averages. It looks less likely this falls to the downside from here than it does to push up for me. I mean, we look at these dominant candles. You know, if we're looking down here, the dominant candle is a bullish candle. And not only a bullish candle that is pretty high in range, you know. So, yeah, I really like that idea of buying USD NOK. I just need it to digest a little bit more so I'm comfortable with it. And that's it, I think. That's it for the day. Anything else you guys want me to look at? I think Aaron put a trade in that I wanted to go through on Aussie CAD. So Aussie CAD breakout. I know you didn't take this. I saw your edited message. But I wanted to go through this. So Aussie CAD breakout. So I know I'm actually mentoring Aaron. So I know he's looking at breakouts on smaller time frames as well as aggressive entries. I didn't like this idea. Okay, I didn't mind. I had a short bias yesterday because, you know, I wasn't looking longs essentially. You know, because looking potentially at breakout retest, that was off the charts there. Right, so at that point in time, remember, we don't know what's happened here. At that point in time, shorting this actually looked okay. So from that point of view, in terms of a bias, yeah, I kind of agreed with you. I just, I didn't like the setup. So if we go to the hourly chart, you zoom out. So you were looking, okay, roughly around here, okay? So it's not bad, don't get me wrong. For me, it's not bad. Remember, in terms of breakouts in the smaller time frames, it needs to be A class, really, I think, for you to take a breakout on the 30-minute 1 hour, from a personal point of view. So if we think about this initial structure, you know, this, albeit price action was nice here, okay, I'll give you that. Nice little squeeze in, good mess, good accumulation. If we take that range of our first structure, for me, I understand we've got nice, healthy price action moving into it, right? I get that, but you just need a little bit more. Ideally, this would have been third structure. So if you've got something like this, and then this price action, that would have been perfect, right? So I just don't think it was quite enough considering the range of our first structure. So again, I like the bias. 4 hour perspective, you know, your key area would for me, would certainly be down here for taking a short, kind of similar to NZD CAD, where I kind of wasn't as comfortable taking a break from just above a key area. And this is where I would like Aussie CAD to come down for a potential setup. But I know you're not taking it. But that was just my personal thoughts on that Aussie CAD setup. So almost there, but not quite enough. Not quite enough. CAD G, I presume that's CAD yen, GBP, or CAD pound CAD. CAD yen 4 hour up. Yeah, I was saying to Martin yesterday I didn't like it, but it's kind of gone up, right? So I see why you would like it from there, right? I just personally, and like I said, I could be completely wrong on this. This is just the way that I see charts, is that I cannot buy this. I just can't. Certainly not. I mean, we're seeing that stock market fall off, and yes, we could get a pullback, in which case this would make sense. Maybe people know more than we do as lowly retail traders. I just worry that where we're buying it, you know? So yes, it could go up. I was wrong yesterday, Silver. You know, the hourly chart, the 30-minute, all those charts look great. It's just buying up there. I couldn't bring myself to do it. You know, I couldn't. So I see what you're looking at, right? I see what you're looking at here, right? In which case, it's a pretty good setup. If you get a 4 hour bar closing on high volume, I would understand the reasoning for buying CAD yen, because ultimately you're going with that trend, right? So I understand that reasoning. And I'm not married to the position that the yen has to come off. You know, that's just personally a hunch of what I think. Again, I don't trade what I think, I trade what I see. And again, just from a daily perspective, I just don't like where it is. You know, I don't like where it is. So yeah, I like the setup, don't like the context. Yeah, if you hit TP1, then you're all happy, right? Doesn't really matter. So yeah. Aussie New Zealand 1 hour down. Aussie New Zealand 1 hour down. 1 hour down. You're looking here. So you're looking cup with handle. From there, breakout retest. Yeah, that might look not too bad. Counter trend idea. Counter trend idea. 4-hour perspective. 4-hour perspective. Yeah. Failed to breach. You know, in terms of a larger complex, I mean, we could do this from here. So if we take 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, yeah, maybe. Yeah, if you get that set up, I wouldn't be opposed to doing that. I wouldn't be opposed to it, silver. I think it goes up though. I think my bias looking at the chart, and I know if it goes up, you're not going to get the trade anyway. I mean, you could even be looking there. Right, from here. So I think if you get it, then yeah, it would make sense. You got some decent areas of dynamic resistance to price, you know, possibly a larger pullback. I just have a feeling this pushes to the upside, in which case you don't get your trade. But yeah, I can see why. You know, you got your slight rising pattern. The volume's not great there, but it's okay. You got your slight rising pattern here, possibly your igniting pattern. Fake out to the downside and possibly push up. So yeah, if it does, I don't mind the idea. I just got a feeling that pushes. Yeah. Hey, morning, Griffey. Morning, buddy. Okay, yeah, so pretty much same again. Pound USD is in. Maybe today is the day where we get another decent leg to the downside, which would be absolutely lovely. Euro pound is potentially in there. I will send a confirmation. I will be doing finally the stock net today. I'll send a confirmation once that's done, and I'll start that process as well. I am going to start at 200k as well. I just don't think this market is just conducive just yet for me starting. But yeah, apart from that, it's pretty much par for the course. I'll be looking at a pound Swiss aggressive entry as well. Hopefully we do get that. If it does breakout retest. But there is things there. Morning, bud. You're just tuning in at the end of my stream, so I'm just about done. So anything else you guys want me to look at before I head off? As I say, guys, for me personally, I wish it would be a lot more interesting. But hey, we be patient. I think that's one of the biggest things is being patient, waiting for those nice markets where you make a lot of money. Euro USD. Actually, have a look at what's happening with NZD CAD, our aggressive entry. So we're still in. SAR still above. Look to be digesting that bar in this possible corrective, albeit it looks pretty strong. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Euro USD. Actually, Euro USD. I might have had a look at this morning, silver, right? So you're looking to add to your aggressive entry on Zealand CAD, yeah. Yeah, I like the bias. I like the daily. I do like it down. So you could be in that you know, looking for your reason to short it, right? It's not giving me a reason to short it just yet. I know I trade differently from you, Griffey, but yeah, I agree with the bias though. Sorry, Euro USD. Yeah, so what I was saying, silver, is that you could have taken this over Asia, really. You could have. It wouldn't have been clean, but you could have taken this as a breakout retest, you know, here. Climactic, you got your evening star on increasing volume. So it would have been valid, stop above the previous swing, right? So I kind of looked at that, and obviously it was before I was at the chart. So if it's gone, it's gone. I can't take it. Everything about it I like. 4 hour is not too bad. I mean, I like the bias of EU to the downside, certainly. Daily is still okay from a larger term perspective. From this corrective pushing out, yes, we could get a slight pullback. Absolutely, we could. But yeah, you could have had an entry there. For EU shorts. So I do like the bias. It's just whether it's ready to move just yet. You know, it's just whether it's ready to move just yet. Maybe, possibly from here. But I would rather be selling it than buying EU right now anyway. So yeah. Sell E. Yeah, I just talked about that. What's your name? Kekix? X-boy? What's your actual name? Oh, you're not in the chat. Yeah, so Silver, I like the idea. It seems as if, I mean, London's 5 minutes from opening, but yeah, I'm expecting that to fall. Not a bad setup there. If you've got a decent stop, you know, in terms of 30-minute entry, movement to the downside or from here, looking to move certainly down to there in terms of your one-to-one. Yeah, I know you might not be in for there, or maybe you are, but yeah, I like that idea. Like the idea. Okay, good. Well done. Yeah, I saw it this morning. Silver. So I agree with that entry. Yep, absolutely. Still looking at buying SPX long term. Yeah, definitely. Not right now. So I bought some. I always usually go to weekly, but I bought some down here. If it does come down, then yeah, absolutely buy some more. I will keep buying it up. You know, for me, it's a 20-year plan. You know, so 50%. I might move 60% of my portfolio into it from this month. But yeah, I buy SPX all day. It's funny. I was speaking to a guy who I was playing golf with who was a bit worried about the housing market. Well, in Dubai, because Dubai, the housing market is actually okay. And he was he was a real estate agent, so not that he can't know anything about the markets. It's just that he was like, oh, there's a few people now talking about a longer term recession, in which case fundamentally you probably should agree with it, but whether it's going to happen or not, we'll have to wait and see, you know. So yeah, Griffey, I'm certainly looking at buying the SPX, but not right now. Gives me a reason, then yeah. If it does come all the way down here, then I'll be looking just to buy it on a bigger dip. Yeah. I mean I kind of agree with it. You know, I kind of agree with it. It would make sense, but you know, I don't really want to predict it. I'd rather just wait and see what happens, you know. If it happens, it happens. I'm still going to invest in the stock market when I see a dip. The only thing I was thinking was do we put our house up for sale? But that's not going to be anytime soon. Because the house prices... So I bought this house 5 years ago. I think 4 or 5 years ago. And housing market took a decent dip after I bought it. And now is the only time where it's come back up, and it's actually more than I bought it. So, I just worry about it, and I'm talking Dubai specifically. I'm worried about a little bit of possible bubble and what we kind of do from there. But yeah, it's that funny situation where you'd expect a drop after COVID. You know, you wouldn't expect the SPX to be where it is, irrespective. So whether that happens or not, you know, let's see. People can go broke waiting for a stock market crash. That's what I'll leave it at. So I'm happy just going in. If I get a discount, then I get a discount. Perfect. All right, guys, have a lovely Tuesday, and I'll see you all again in the morning. Take care. Trade safe. Peace.